And welcome back to the PD Football Podcast. My name is Presh.
My name is Darren.
And how are you doing today?
I'm good. Just fatigued. How's everything on your end?
I see. my cousin was on the podcast last week and he made a joke. He's like, asked him how are you doing. He's like, work fatigue. But yeah, I watched Avatar again myself.
For how many times now?
The fourth time
in the
theaters,
movies.
Yeah. I'm just such a big fan. You know, an Avatar movie being in theaters, it comes out once in a while, and it's a well, if you think about it, Big Jim said work started on the first one in 1996, so 30 years, 3 movies, 10 years per movie. It's more rare than 2 World Cups, you know.
Yeah.
Something every 10 years. That's something to get excited for in my mind. But not everyone is. Well, the thing is, it's the highest grossing movie of all time, the first one. And the second one is the third highest grossing movie of all time. So clearly it connects with people, a lot of people. And I guess it super connects with people like me who go back time and time again to...
and just watch it over and over.
Yeah, like it's a comfort kind of thing that like... in 2009 there was something called Avatar Depression. Or 2010 I should say. Do you know?
No, I've never heard of that.
It's people were so sad that they couldn't live in Pandora, you know, the world inside Avatar, that they got depressed about it. It was a worldwide phenomenon. Articles were written about it.
That really sounds like a dumb thing to get depressed over, but...
Yeah, also the kind of the point of Avatar is that the world, our world, Earth, is Pandora. It's a metaphor. But anyway, so unfortunately this is probably going to be a quick show. I only had time to watch one match one match properly and to analyze it, and the rest will have to be looked through the lens of highlights.
I think I also watched like 1.5, 2 games. So
yeah, probably the most professional podcast on the waves right now, I think.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
who's doing it like us? Who's doing it at this level, at this, you know?
Yeah, not to make any excuses, but there's a lot of things happening in life, you know, so it's can't always get the priority.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
So we're going to start with Newcastle 1, Barcelona 1. And Newcastle made 3 changes to the team that lost to Man City in the FA Cup, with Dan Burn in for Sven Botman, Jacob Ramsey in for Joe Willock, Joe Linton in for Nick Woltemade, and with a change of shape into a 4-3-3 instead of the 4-2-3-1 that they were playing. Anthony Gordon apparently was not feeling well and missed the training session that morning, so he didn't start, which I think is a big blow. He's their highest scoring player this season, so... you know, not ideal to lose him.
Not the ideal circumstances.
Yes, but instead, Will Osula got a chance in the lineup, which, you know, good for him. But how does Woltemade feel? How does Johan Wissa feel? You know, the 2 guys that were brought in for big money this season.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the performances have improved, so I guess they got to fight for their place.
So I don't know Barcelona's starting 11 well enough to, comment on it. I've been meaning to confront you this past couple of episodes, but you haven't been on.
Yes, about Eddie Howe's high press.
Yes, Eddie Howe has abandoned the high line, or the high press, I should say, the high aggressive press that he's been linked with for many years.
That's a good sign. I just offered it as a critique if he's changed his coaching. I haven't been watching much Newcastle games, so kudos to him if he's defending better.
I don't know if... because the thing is, has it worked? He lost against Man City. He did beat Man United, and then he lost to City in the FA Cup. So far, mixed results, I would say.
I mean...
And he lost to Everton as well.
Okay, then I guess it hasn't been a good change, but at least he's maybe showing some adaptability.
I just think it's more sustainable to play in a possession basis. Well, he isn't playing possession based, but I'm saying instead of very aggressively high pressing, because that takes so much energy and so much, focus. It's very difficult to play like that for the entire season. And Klopp and the Liverpool team of the past showed like how close you can get, but at every time it wasn't enough. It never beat possession-based system.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's this like it's a style of football that is commonly associated with the Premier League, with England in general, I guess. So I guess Eddie Howe has his own philosophy, and
yeah, but I'm saying I just don't think it's sustainable. So it's good that he's changed plans, but I do think it should be scenario based. So sometimes it's good to press high. Sometimes it's good to play on the counter. Sometimes it's good to, you should have, or rather, your gameplay should be a toolbox, so that in every game you use the correct tool for the correct puzzle or the correct thing you want to do. So in terms of gameplay, Newcastle went direct to try to exploit the Barcelona high line. Plenty of balls over the top for the wingers to run onto, Ilanga and Harvey Barnes, which in the first maybe 20 minutes they tried it at least 3 or 4 times. So it was a very clear game plan for them to go after that high line. They did press a little bit. Well, not press. When it's called defending in the mid block. Right, so when it gets to Newcastle's midfield, that's when they apply the pressure. Yeah. But it's not the same as a high press. It's applying pressure and a high press are 2 different things.
Yeah, I mean, a high press is usually triggered off the opponent's mistake or.
Yeah, well, this is them moving into a zone, and I thought it was the perfect start from Newcastle. They didn't let Barca settle at all, and for the first 20 minutes they didn't have a single shot and had very little possession. And according to you, Barcelona are the best team in the world. So to do that to the best team in the world, I think that's a very good sign. That Newcastle were really up for it.
I mean, Newcastle, they have, I think, they're putting good performances against everyone. We know they're capable of it. I think it's not exactly surprising. I guess the main thing, the question has always been consistency from them. If they can consistently beat the bigger teams, I guess.
So that's how the first half was kind of characterized. But when Barcelona did get the ball, roughly after the 20th minute till the end of the half, it became a little bit more 50-50. Barcelona were very poor going forward.
I think Hansi Flick mentioned he wasn't happy with the in-possession play at all. So I think a lot of misplaced passes.
So in the last 5 minutes or so, it just became end-to-end. But there was no cut and thrust from either team.
Barcelona I was surprised with how well they actually defended for a team that doesn't usually defend. Because I think they allowed Newcastle a lot of chances, but I think besides the goal, maybe there was only 1 or 2 clear-cut chances. So I think they also used the mid-block. It was also something new from Hansi Flick. I guess both teams were playing to still be in the tie, maybe, or to not exactly let the occasion get to them. I think they were managing the moment, maybe, but that was the most defensive I've seen Hansi Flick, if I did notice anything.
Alright. So the first half ends 0-0 without any major chances. They are decent half chances, but nothing you'd be oh, the whole match depended on that thing. But the second half follows the same pattern as the last 5 minutes of the first half. Both teams counter-attacking each other, and it's becoming like a basketball game. But just both teams know quality in the final third. Both teams are just squandering. Yes, they get to the final third, mess it up. The other team counters, mess it up in the final third. The other team counters. It's very up and down. It kind of the perfect game of football if you're into that sort of thing, which I am.
If you're a neutral, I guess, for the neutral fan, as they say, but it depends what you're into.
Yeah. Now, you would obviously hope that they would score, but once in a while, just seeing the attacking football is much more fun than watching a team sit deep and cover all the channels and make it difficult to attack. This is the game I would rather watch. That's all I'm saying. Lewis Hall, I thought, was the man of the match. He did a fabulous job to keep Lamine quiet, but also he got forward quite a lot, which doing 2 jobs very well. And the team that I thought of immediately was Man United. They're the team without a good left back. They should go in for Lewis Hall if they can.
Man United could go in for him. I mean, I still think Chelsea could have kept him, and in Chelsea's system, he would have been better than Cucurella for me. So that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I think he could go to one or two of those clubs. I think I would take him at Arsenal as well, to be frank, because I still...
Hold on.
I would still...
Listeners, Darren has only waxed lyrical all the time about how Calafiore has the X factor.
I was going to say I'd play him as a centre-back. I'm not too
who would
happy
you drop?
with Gabriel.
Oh, wow.
I'm not too happy with
He's
Gabriel.
getting Player of the Year shouts and you're not happy about him.
Yeah, the last 3 games I haven't been happy with his passing in particular. His playing out. I think he's made a lot of erratic mistakes, but we'll talk about that later.
Alright. Back to the game. Around the 80th minute, Barca gained possession and tried to retain the ball to slow down the game instead of attacking. And ironically, this has the opposite effect as Jacob Murphy gets forward, plays a 1-2 and then puts in a great cross. Harvey Barnes is unmarked with Rafinha just ball watching, and he scores with a scrappy finish. But, well, that's what I initially thought. On second look, the keeper could have done much better than he did against Harvey Barnes. Barnes took a tame shot, and the keeper
kind of bumbled it in.
Yeah. And then, oh, sorry, we just got into individual moments. I didn't mention that was an individual moment, the Harvey Barnes goal. Another individual moment is they get a last-minute penalty kick as Malik Chow brings down Daniel Olmo in the area. Honestly, a stonewall penalty. It's just one of those ones where you're tired, you know, your brain is tired.
Waiting for the final whistle.
And Olmo just came on, you know, he's fresh, he's dribbling, his twinkle toes, and he's coming into the box, and you just take him out.
I mean, yeah, they gave Barcelona a bit of a lifeline. I think in the end, it wouldn't have mattered. I think even if Barcelona have lost, I still would have thought they'd got through at the new camp. So,
yeah, Lamine Yamal converts, and I would say that he had a stinker. He had a really poor game.
He did.
And this obviously a goal covers everything up, isn't it? So
it can, but
well, people are not going to look back at this game and think, oh, Yamal had a stinker. They're going to think back and say, oh, he scored a last-minute equalizer.
Yeah, but that's because he'll probably have like 5 or 6 good games.
But I'm saying that's just how things work.
Yeah.
Right?
But it only gets remembered as such if you had a good season, is what I'm saying. Like, no one will really remember the performance if he doesn't have any good games after this and help Barcelona win the Champions League. So,
well, I was trying to make a comparison with Salah, who drops stinkers all the time, but he'll get a goal, and it's like, oh, but he scored that game. What, you ungrateful for that goal, is it?
Yeah, but Jamal hardly drops stinkers, though.
Alright, again, it feels like you think I'm attacking Yamal. I'm just trying to draw a comparison with another player
I think it's the wrong player to draw
that does what he does all the time. Anyway, I thought a draw is probably a fair result because both teams had good opportunities, not great opportunities, but, you know, decent chances. But with how it panned out and the last minute of it all, it probably feels like a loss to Newcastle, I would say.
Probably, and I think Barcelona also were bad. That was one of their worst games of the season. I doubt they'll be that bad again. So I think Newcastle might have missed the beat to try get the win at least, but I don't see Barcelona being that bad again.
I think it would have been a mental boost if they had won the game. They could go into the Camp Nou with a little bit more positivity.
Yeah, exactly.
I know what you're saying. They probably would have lost anyway, blah, blah, blah. But I think you just feel more confident and more energized if you...
When you have something
like you
defend,
you feel like you've won. Now, well, not feel like you won, you did win. Now that they've drawn, I think they're going to be a lot more feeling worse. I don't know what to call it.
Low on motivation, I guess.
Low on motivation, yeah. I think. I have no idea what...
it could go both ways, you know. I mean, mentality is oftentimes when when a game's that close, mentality is what divides it. If the second game was to be as close, but it would require Barcelona to play badly. I don't think even Newcastle at full tilt versus Barcelona who play moderately well would be a close game right now.
Alright, so that's Barcelona versus Newcastle. Now we're going into the miscellaneous section. I didn't do notes for any other matches, so we're just gonna be kind of freewheeling here, chatting about the other results.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a couple of games.
Which one did you watch?
The Arsenal game, obviously.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. The first game of the midweek games was the 7:45 game at our local time. Galatasaray 1, Liverpool 0. And so I slept at 6 o'clock, set my alarm to wake up at 7:30 for the game at 7:45. And I just slept all the way up until 10.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, so you know the phrase, God gives his biggest naps to his sleepiest soldiers. That's what it says in the Bible, I'm pretty sure. So, that's me.
Well, God bless you.
Right, the only things I can say about this is stuff that I've read on Twitter and from the highlights that I've seen. So Alisson was injured, which forced Mamardashvili to play. But now I just want to take you back to our last episode. Okay, you weren't here, but let me just repeat. I said, why is Slot playing Alisson and not rotating in the cup with Mamardashvili? And now Alisson got injured. Does he not see any, like, a link from that to that? Like, oh, I overplayed Alisson and then he got injured. Does he not connect the dots in his mind and say, oh, I should be rotating?
You would know better than me in terms of what his patterns of coaching are this season. But
No. What did Arteta play Raya in the FA Cup against Mansfield?
No, but I'm saying, what did he do last season? What was
He did the exact same thing. He doesn't rotate. He'll play that first 11 into the ground and then complain that he doesn't have quality backups.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's a character trait of his. It could be something related to the Dutch train of thought. I know they're very big on momentum because Louis van Gaal used to do the same thing. If I remember correctly, a lot of Man United fans would complain about the lack of rotation.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of which, the midfield was not rotated again. The same midfield three, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, have played in the last 5 matches. Without all of them 90 minutes. Actually, no, let me take that back. In the FA Cup game, McAllister was replaced, but most of the time they're all playing 90 minutes, and Jones can't get a look in. Okay, Endo's injured. Who else do we have? Trey Neone, who's a youth player, but he's like, quote unquote, next up. You know, like the next good academy player, and he's not getting any minutes. So yeah, sorry, I just needed to vent about this guy not rotating at all. Even like Rio Ngamoa played 70 minutes in the FA Cup and he got 0 minutes against Galatasaray. You know, is 70 minutes a week too much for him? Then he shouldn't be a professional athlete. That's disgusting if that his body could handle it. But if it's Slot just being an idiot, then he needs to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess these are things for the Liverpool board to discuss. Like, last season was hard to criticize him because you guys won the league. So I guess now, if those problems were there last season, I guess they're more in your face now because Salah didn't have the season he had last season, or no one had that sort of season that could make up, I guess, for the deficiencies in the system. But it depends. Like, if the results were there, would people be criticizing it? So at the same time, I think, yeah, he's going to be there till the end of the season. So right now, I tend to agree with you. I think rotation is the best way to go. I've always been a big fan of Guardiola. I've made that point so many times. I've always thought that rotating players is probably the best way to go about coaching. Even Mourinho, when he was successful, different style of football, but was very big on rotation. So I agree with you. Whether the Liverpool board agrees with you or not, we'll see.
This is what Klopp would do. And we shouldn't go backwards, and I don't want Klopp to be the manager again. But I'm just, pointing something out. He would play Robertson, a youth defender, Konate, and then a youth right back. And then in the next game, he would swap a youth left back, Van Dijk, a youth centre back, Trent. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they learn off the players next to them.
Yeah, so there would be 2 youth players, 2 seniors. 2 youth players, 2 seniors. So that, all sections are kind of covered by a senior player who can take responsibility. And there's a younger player who can learn from that positioning and,
Develop,
yes. How are players going to develop if they don't get any minutes explain that, Slot. But he won't, because he doesn't listen to the podcast. But if he did, I'd like an answer.
He still wouldn't listen to Liverpool fans. He tell you guys to be grateful for the Premier League he delivered.
Yeah, he actually did say that. In not so many words, but he did say that. Anyway, so I did watch the highlights, and we have to give some credit to Galatasaray. They scored from a corner. Victor Osimhen won the first header, put it, and then I'm not sure the name of the player, but they scored at the back post.
Oh yeah, I did see the goal as well. Also, don't remember the player.
So that's all we can really say about the game, because again, neither of us saw it, but we did see a lot of poor, sloppy play in the highlights.
And I mean, if anything, I think Galatasaray, they don't seem to be that good of a footballing team. Just shows how important atmosphere can be, because I think they're kind of living off of how difficult their stadium is to go to. You don't see, like, if you compare them to Bodo, I guess, maybe we'll speak about Bodo later, where you see a lot of, at least a tactical identity that they're executing. Whether you agree with it or not depends on your interpretation of football, but I think with Galatasaray it just seems like that's a crazy difficult place to go to, no matter who you are, just because of the fans.
A counterpoint, I just think we're bad.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not just you guys.
Did we see, like, I don't know who's a good team? PSG go to Galatasaray and get beaten.
I'm pretty sure they got a couple of big scalps in the group stage at home. We'd have to go look at their results, but I think there was
I don't recall Galatasaray. I guess Juventus, but Juventus aren't, Juventus of old anymore.
In the playoff though, but they did get to the playoffs, I remember, by getting one or two big scalps. I forgot who they were, but generally that ground is difficult to go to. And
my point being is, I'm going off they beat Juventus and they beat us, and neither of us or Juventus are like in the best moment right now. So they're beating teams based on name, not on.
If we look at the Man City game, Real Madrid are not in a good moment.
All right, okay. Are we done with Liverpool and Galatasaray? Do we have anything else to say?
Yeah, I mean, I'm done.
Okay. Atletico Madrid 5, Spurs 2. So obviously the big talking point about this match was that the goalkeeper Kinski was given his Champions League debut, and he made 2 huge errors and conceded 3 before getting subbed. So my heart goes out to this poor chap. He was crying as he came off, and it wasn't a nice thing to watch. And I place the blame firmly on Igor Tudor's shoulders, because why would you give this guy, this is the first game to start him? That's one. 2, when he's coming off, he didn't try comfort him at all. He just, let the guy go off down the tunnel crying. It was such a heartbreaking moment. That's not how you treat somebody else. I can understand if it were a more senior player, and a senior player was letting down the team, sub him, and we'll chat about it at halftime or after the game, whatever. A youth player or a younger player, it's very difficult, that situation.
You have to manage the emotions as well.
Yes, it's very poor from Igor Tudor, and at the time I said it was a bad move to bring him in, based on what I knew about him, but now I'm confirmed that it was a bad move, and Spurs are really in danger of going down. They really are.
They are. I mean, it was a poor performance. I think it's hard to say, like, to judge. I guess Atletico are pulling off a lot of big performances in the big moments as well. So, I don't think Spurs necessarily had an easy game. I think everyone expected them to lose anyway, not get hammered or cave in the way they did. But they're in a difficult situation, and the only thing I can really see, I think of all the teams in the bottom of the Premier League as well, they have the toughest fixture run. So I think the only sort of hope I'd give them of staying up right now is probably just if one of their players has like a great individual run till the end of the season, but I don't even see who that is, to be honest.
Maybe Solanke.
Yeah.
Because, again, based on highlights, because I didn't watch this match, the second goal from Spurs, okay, this 7 goals is far too many to go through individually. But I will say for the Solanke goal, that was a top quality finish. Who was it? Pedro Porro won the ball after a poor pass from the goalkeeper, Oblak, and he passed it to Solanke, and Solanke finished quite powerfully. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tottenham's defending was poor, but I also think Atletico's fifth goal was a really, really good counter-attacking goal. Like a classic Champions League goal.
Alvarez ran all the way from like the middle of the field to the goal and scored. So yeah, based on highlights, assume that this was a very sloppy match because Van der Ven also slipped. And like I mentioned, the Atletico keeper passed the ball straight to a Spurs player. So
individual errors all over the place.
Out of the 7, at least 4 were individual errors. So not good. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about this game?
I mean, I think it wasn't this game in specific. I'd say that it was a common pattern in all the games that maybe bar 1 or 2 teams, it was atrocious defending this week. You know. I think like some of the team structures who usually play well, like at least from what I saw, the highlights we watched, the goals were just so much space.
Speaking about teams that are usually quite good but conceded some horror goals, Atalanta won Bayern Munich 6. So based on highlights, it was diabolical defending from Atalanta, and they also kept getting caught in transition.
Yeah, it was like shocking.
Yeah,
like, even the amount of space Olise had, and obviously I'm not trying to put down what Bayern did. Like,
I am.
In terms of, it's a Champions League victory, it's a 6-1 victory, but I still think Bayern are not as good as everyone might think they are.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I'm not agreeing with you. I'm saying I'm not trying to take away credit from like the individuals or some of the football they do play, which is really good. I'm just saying that they haven't really been tested. I think they've lost 1 game this season in the Champions League, 1 game in the league, and I think when we played them, it was one of the easier games we played this season. But at the same time, I'd say that we could have said the same thing about PSG last season when we beat them and Newcastle beat them. So I just don't necessarily see like Bayern as being on the same level as Barcelona right now. I'd put them in probably just below Barca, on the same level as Arsenal, but everyone's opinion is different. I just think that the amount of space Atalanta gave them was ridiculous, though. It seemed almost like a Europa League game, not to offend that competition, but it wasn't like I don't think Bayern themselves would have expected the game to be that easy, have that amount of space, especially to the players we've mentioned, you know.
Well, I am going to disrespect Bayern Munich and say Atalanta made it too easy for them. They're an average team that looks, amazing because Atalanta were very poor.
I don't think they're an average team. Like,
and
they're about to break every record in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, in an average league. This is the thing. I had a thought. What if Bayern came across a really defensive side that, won't put up with their bullshit and, makes the spaces tight? And then I thought, they did play that team. It was Arsenal, and they lost. So I don't need to do a thought experiment. It's happened.
But I mean, that's always been the case with Bayern. How does it translate from how do you interpret how good they are in the league and whether or not it will translate into the Champions League? Because Pep Guardiola, everyone or most people recognize him as the best coach in the world, but he wasn't able to get Bayern Munich to the same heights as Jupp Heynckes, despite probably having a more complete squad all around the pitch. So it's all interpretive. It's like what will translate, because they always dominate the league 9 times out of 10. That's, I guess, why people gave Klopp so much credit at the start of his Dortmund career, because he kind of was able to compete with Bayern Munich. Like the same thing he did at Man City. Obviously, his competition at Man City was slightly better, but he was performing against like a juggernaut with a team that he had to build himself, So it's hard to gauge with Bayern Munich. I think if they have momentum, it's always going to be a game of margins, and if the players they have are match winners. So I think if Kompany can make it a game of margins, their attack can win them the Champions League. I wouldn't be surprised if they win all the way.
I also don't rate Company.
Yeah,
just mentioning he got relegated from actual league.
Yeah,
but carry on.
He could win a treble.
Oh, Slot could also win a treble.
No, he can't.
Why not?
Not this season, but maybe in the future. Who knows?
We in 3 competitions, aren't we?
You can't win the Premier League.
Why not? It's unlikely. I agree with that. But why not?
But they're almost guaranteed 2 trophies, and I think
2 bullshit trophies, bruh.
Okay, so if they win the Champions League, are they still going to be frauds?
No. You're a fraud until you prove otherwise.
But a League, a Cup, and a League, a Cup, and a Champions League semi-final. It's also a good season. Like, how is that different to what Guardiola did? What would have made Guardiola's Bayern exceptional then?
Because you're looking at his Bayern team in a vacuum. Pep has won the Champions League 3 other times.
Yeah, but I'm saying specifically at Bayern Munich.
Because
you call him Company a fraud, but he's outperforming Pep at Bayern Munich.
Outperforming?
Yeah, he's
world football was way stronger when
not when Pep was in the Bundesliga.
I think so.
No, I think when Pep was in the Bundesliga was probably at its easiest time.
No, I'm saying world football. I didn't say the Bundesliga. So in that same season, it was the MSN. They won the treble, didn't they?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, hypothetically speaking...
That's why I'm saying it would have been harder for Pep to win the Champions League because world football was harder.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's just an excuse, is it not?
How is it not? Okay, it is an excuse. It is an excuse. But I'm saying it's a reason.
Yeah, so, like, for me, if he's doing better in the same circumstances than Guardiola... Like, Messi and Ronaldo don't have to be there for him to be outperforming any season that Guardiola had at Bayern Munich, just off their domestic performances. It's not like...
Okay,
like
what's the Bodo Glimt manager's name?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever their name is, they can also win the Champions League. That means they're the greatest ever.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying...
You're saying because Company may win the Champions League, that means he should be held in this regard.
They play good football. I don't think their football is bad.
But you see what I'm saying? I could also say, oh, Newcastle are still in the Champions League, so...
No, I don't see what you're saying. I need you to explain, like, how are they not...
Okay, let's take another...
metric? Okay, the only team that's been better than them in the Champions League so far is Arsenal. So, which metric are you using to say Bayern Munich have been average?
So when they win games, their performances don't...
They've scored the most goals in Europe this season. You can say this because of the Bundesliga, but they scored the most in the Champions League.
I'm saying when I've watched them, they've looked average when they've won. That's all I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, but then, I mean, which team hasn't looked average when they've won for you? Because I'd say Arsenal and Bayern are the best teams statistically.
Well, I'll bring them up just now.
And you say they both look average. PSG aren't really the PSG of last season. They might be peaking now.
All right.
Barcelona, it's also hypothetical. I believe they're the best team in the world, but they still need to prove it.
I think there's not something we need to debate. In about a few months, we'll see who wins the Champions League, and we'll all agree that Company is a fraud. Okay.
And we'll all agree that it won't be a Premier League team.
Okay. Leverkusen won, Arsenal won. So based on highlights, this was an even match. Both teams had decent chances to score. The Leverkusen goal came from a corner, and Robert Andrich is unmarked at the back post. And this is not what I would expect from the best defense in the Premier League. And I'm not saying that like snarkily or like ironically. Arsenal are the best defense in the Premier League. It's shocking that they conceded a goal like that, unmarked.
Yeah, it was a poor, maybe a lapse in concentration. I think no one picked up the marker, just really.
So I didn't write it down, but I think it was just after half time.
Yeah, it was.
Perhaps they didn't settle, they didn't...
we didn't play well at all. I think from the start of the game till the end, I don't think... Arteta made a few structural changes. I think... Zubimendi was a little bit higher, which maybe trying to get his passing, his line breaking passes a bit more up the field made a bit of a difference. I think Declan Rice was deeper, but I think the structure just it wasn't the same. I think he was trying to overcompensate for Gyökeres too much. I think I'm not I've given him his props in the last few weeks, but I don't think he's the type of player you have to build a system around. And I think right now, at least in that one specific game, it seemed like Arteta was trying to use his transitional power above everything else. So I didn't agree with Arteta's approach yesterday.
So I think Arsenal got a bullshit penalty. There was contact on Madueke, but not enough, in my opinion, for him to fall in the manner that he did.
I mean, it's a game of margins, you know. Arsenal are the team that we use the margins the best. Whether you think it's right or wrong, but we do use them.
Well, it's
the
definitely
most
wrong to
efficiently.
dive.
It's definitely wrong to your opinion, to your mind. It's
All
fine.
right, fine. In my opinion, it's bad to dive.
We have
All
the
right.
new Jose Mourinho. In my opinion, I'm happy with that.
Arteta's the villain of the Premier League. I agree with that. He is the new Jose Mourinho. Just everybody dreads playing.
Which is strange. Like, I mean, Pep Guardiola lost his head completely yesterday in the press conference, but no one brought that up.
What did he say?
He was just... I mean, you should go look at it for yourself. I think he was like... you could see he was touched. And I love him, but this is something if Klopp or Arteta did, we wouldn't hear the end of it, you know.
Yeah. So, Kai Havertz scored the penalty, slotted it away pretty well, and it's pretty funny how respectful he was when he scored, or when he celebrated.
In comparison to his Chelsea.
Yeah, because every time he plays Chelsea and scores against them, he goes buck wild and celebrates, and I just wonder what they did to him over there at Chelsea.
I just hope he stays fit. For me personally, he's one of my favorite Arsenal players as well. So if we can get him back, I think the dynamics of the front three improve a lot.
I did see one attack in the highlights that Gyökeres kind of slowed down the attack. The ball was going to Martinelli. He picks it up and then he passes to Martinelli. But at that point, the defender had time to
close down the
angle. Yes. Martinelli still got off a good shot, but...
I mean, Martinelli played decent. He's been very good in the Champions League, so...
It would have been he would have had a better shot if Gyökeres had just let it go straight to him, I think.
Again, though, I would also say that we were very sloppy, our structure. Like, a lot of the reason we were able to keep Leverkusen at bay again was just Declan Rice's closing down, man. Like, his ability to read the game. I think he's having a crazy season. He's probably carrying us more than any player so far this season, so... I think we could have even lost that game without him. He made a lot of good interceptions, beat the press a lot. I think the midfield was looking disjointed whenever he misplaced the pass or did something wrong. So, I'm just thankful we have him right now, you know.
All right, Okay, sorry. Are we done speaking about this?
Yeah.
All right. PSG 5, Chelsea 2. I heard that this was a decent match, but Chelsea kind of collapsed in the last 10 minutes. So it looks much worse than it actually was. It was actually a very tight...
I heard that Chelsea played actually well. So, however, it's done now. So,
So watching the highlights, PSG scored some absolute stunners. Right? I think that they are the favourites for the tournament again. They're the team that really impresses me every time I watch them.
I mean...
Not a group of frauds.
I would say they've been inconsistent this season. I've watched them a bit this season, so I wouldn't say they've been as good as last season, but they are peaking again. But I think with last season, it was just the Champions League that they weren't playing well in. They were kind of like... They went on a crazy run in the league.
But it's the same thing about Bayern, right? I don't care what they do in Liga.
No, but I'm saying right now, their form is patchy in both. I think they conceded a lot of chances to Chelsea, so...
They did. In the highlights for Chelsea's first goal, there was just a huge gap. Malo Gusto just walked in there and scored. There were no pressure on him, nothing, because there was such a huge gap.
I think, personally, obviously my favorites are Barcelona, but the way I'm seeing the things we've seen in the past in the Champions League, Real Madrid would be my second favorites right now, because I think they're going to find a way to win in the margins, which is what the Champions League is all about. And it would be sad, because then people would start calling Arbeloa a genius, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be very competitive for the rest of the season.
Okay, well, we're not even there yet, but I disagree. Let's just finish off with this, right? So I don't think PSG have the best defense, but their attack is so stacked. So say it's the 80th minute, and you've defended so well against Barcola, Doué, and Dembele, and then 10 minutes, I mean, in that last 10 minutes, they bring on Kvaratskhelia to run at you, and like, who else do they have?
Who else do they have?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Who else like is a good player for them?
Oh, Doué?
No, I mentioned Doué.
Oh, did you?
Barcola.
We'd have to go through their options. I think it...
They have... Yeah, okay, whatever the case is...
Ramos?
Gonzalo Ramos. Yeah, as for Chelsea, I don't know what to say about them.
I mean, I think they seem to be like a bit of the opposite of what they were under Maresca in terms of... They're playing well now. Maybe even like similar football, but I think they were very much a team for the big occasion under Maresca, whereas now they've lost 3 games to Arsenal and 1 to PSG. So I think now they seem to have lost the big game magic a bit, you know.
Bodo Glimt 3, Sporting 0.
I didn't watch this game, but I heard Bodo Glimt were again very good on the transition, tore Sporting apart. So congratulations to them. I mean, we'll probably meet them in the quarters. So I hope they run ends in the next leg. But it's good to see them. If they manage to get past us, if we get through as well, then I would want them to win the Champions League out of just for the story.
So I neither watched this nor watched the highlights because I could not find the highlights package for this game. It just seems like nobody cared about this, or nobody cared to make a highlights package. But apparently Bodo Glimt are playing the best football in Europe. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, they're very like you can see that they're, at least in the games I've watched, or from what my brothers told me, because he's watched their games, they're just very like efficient, I guess. They execute their plans within like a very small degree of anything going wrong, you know. So right now it's like they're having the perfect game, but like Inter Milan last season. But how long can everything come off, you know?
Are we done with this, or do you have anything else to say?
A good week for the La Liga teams, you know, as I think we discussed it before.
Well, we're not done yet.
Oh, you mean for this game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, Real Madrid 3, Man City 0. And I'm totally the opposite of you. I think Man City are gonna go through to the next round. I think they have them right where they want them.
3-0 down.
Yes.
Okay, they have them right where they want them.
Well, it's obviously unfortunate the score, but they're not out of reach. And Madrid have very poor defenders that can be exploited. So
and they've had that before.
Yeah, but
and won the Champions League.
This is not the team of 2018. That's what everybody keeps assuming.
But it's not just the team of 2018. There have been many times where they've been completely out of form in every other competition except the Champions League, and they've still won it.
Again, in these moments, they had literal geniuses at the wheel. I'm talking about Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, right? And Carlo Ancelotti, and Zidane.
Yeah, I mean, that's all hypothetical because...
The rest of the team, I'm not saying they didn't matter, but like Benzema had extreme clutch, like to the nth degree. Who does Madrid have that has clutch like that? Maybe like Rodrigo?
Vinicius has clutch. Probably if he doesn't have anything else, he has clutch.
I don't know about that.
Mbappe has clutch, definitely. I think, two World Cups, he's been the best player in 2 World Cups. At the age of 24.
No Champions League, though.
He'll get it. I'm pretty sure he'll get it eventually, so...
Okay. I just don't think Madrid are as good as people think, same as...
I don't think they're good at all, but yeah. I think
they just got a freak result, and now suddenly they're the favourites for the Champions League, is it?
No, I'm not saying they're the favourites based on anything football related. I'm saying they have the mentality, and I think that's the most important thing in the Champions League.
And I disagree with that. This is not the same team that did 3 in a row.
It doesn't have to be, though.
Yeah, but that's the players that had that mentality are no longer there.
Didn't you just say football's not as good as it was? They don't have to have those players to win right now.
But I think you're like deliberately ignoring my point. I'm saying the same players that are here don't... I'm not saying their quality of play. I'm saying mentality. Do you think Trent has the same mentality that Carvajal had at the height of their performances? Do you think Carreras has the mentality of Marcelo? Do you think anybody in the team has the mentality of Cristiano Ronaldo? Okay, take that out of it. He's a freak. Mentality-wise, they're not even close to those teams. And
I think that's your opinion, but
okay.
I think Vinicius and Mbappe are two of the biggest mentality players in the world.
And I'm saying based on one result. What about winning 1-0 against Benfica and being the worst team by far?
Yeah, I mean, that's happened in the past.
Benfica are much worse team.
They lost to AZ Alkmaar in the season they won the Champions League. This is Real Madrid. As long as they're in the game, they can win it in 5 minutes.
I think you're just looking at a name and being lazy in your analysis. Sorry to say, because just because they.
I agree that they're not the Real Madrid of old. I'm just saying I think they can, as long as they stay in a game, unless a team thrashes them, they can win that game in the last 10 minutes, 100%.
All right, like I said, City are going through. It's pretty clear in my mind, and is this the right time to say that I didn't watch the match? I mean, I didn't watch the match, and
you said City were going to thump them in this game, so.
And I didn't watch the highlights because, once again, there wasn't a highlights package available. So, what am I supposed to do?
And I'm glad if Arbeloa, I don't know if he followed my advice, but I did say that Valverde needs to be closer to goal. He could be good as a number 10. So
that's not the. I mean, excuse me.
Thank you, Arbeloa, for listening to me.
Okay. Now here's the rub. If you want Trent to play as you assume he would play, he needs Valverde to hold his hand. Valverde can't get forward.
Yeah, I don't think Valverde has to be a right back.
No, I'm not saying right back. I'm saying he needs to be at the right-hand side at midfield. He cannot get forward because if he does get forward, that entire space is left open.
But I think
Trent
they
isn't.
could just use a different right winger. I think Valverde is much better centrally. And
no, not winger. I'm saying. So they're playing 4-3-3, right?
Yeah.
The midfield three.
I know what you're saying.
The right-hand sided midfielder.
I don't think Valverde needs to hold his hand as much as you think.
Have you watched Trent play this season?
I haven't. I don't need to watch him play. I've watched him play over his whole career.
He's a dog shit defender. No, okay, let me take that back. He is a dog shit defender, but it's not that he's bad, which he is bad, but it's also that he's lazy.
Yeah, but I think you're over analyzing him a bit.
Why is that?
Because I think he's the type of player that can create chances. That's all Madrid
Has he
need.
even made chances this season?
He's been injured for like most of the season, bro.
Yeah, but when he's played, I feel like you're basing it off his name and reputation, not on what he's done this season.
No, I'm basing it off of how I analyze coaching. I think players have to be played into form. You have to look at, like, you can say, oh, okay, take this player out now. Arbeloa or whoever it is could be saying we need this player for the big moments, even if they're not the best defensively. If it works out, if Real Madrid beat Man City 3-0, what can you say?
Well, what I've heard is they had 3 Castilla boys playing, and the big name or the big story of the night is that there's a guy named Thiago Pitok who was very good. Now, I'm not sure what position he plays or whatever he did, but apparently he was very good in the game.
Yeah, I mean...
you watch La Liga more than me, so I'm sure you can speak to... Well, can you at least tell me what position he plays?
I don't know. Actually.
All right. Thanks to our La Liga correspondent.
I mean, I said I prefer La Liga, but I've kind of admitted that I haven't watched much football this year at all. Not just La Liga, Premier League, anything. That's why I haven't made the last few episodes as well. So.
All right, but yeah, the main story is Thiago Pitok. He's the... Well, a lot of Real Madrid fans are saying he should be starting above whatever person is in his current position.
Let me check quick. But at the end of the day, I haven't watched much football, bro. I just know La Liga tends to come out on trumps when it comes to Champions League and Europa League.
I don't know why you're checking. This is right here in front of me. Pitok, he was on the left-hand side of midfield. So the midfield was Tchouameni, Valverde on the right, Pitok on the left, and Goulet in the 10.
Yeah, but I think the little bits of the game... I mean, I did watch the game. I just didn't take cognizance of the guy's name or whatever. But from what I noticed, I think Goulet was playing slightly deeper and Valverde was occupying the higher positions in most of the game. I think mostly for his counter pressing as well, I guess, to put pressure on the Man City midfield, on Rodri and the centre halves. So I've always thought Valverde is one of the best players in the world. So again, that, like, if when you're asking me, is this Real Madrid team having players of all, I think they have in a lot of positions one of the 2 or 3 best players in the world. So,
but it's different than, that's the team that did the three-peat. It's not just that they had world-class players. It's just they also had like a certain magic about them that you can't quantify.
But not
like
before they first won. Like before they won La Decima, or not even, because Modric and Kroos weren't there for La Decima, but before they won the first of the three-peat, they were like always being compared to Xavi and Iniesta, saying that they would never be there. These are players who aren't on that level. And then they won everything. So I'm saying if they can break that once, these are some of the best players in the world. Easy. Camavinga with confidence, Tchouameni with confidence. The squad's not as bad as everyone thinks it is.
I just don't think they have the guidance.
That can be argued. I don't know much about Arbeloa, honestly, but
because what he's done is kind of gear the team towards Mbappe and Vinicius to an extent. They don't track back at all. In the games that I've watched them, the 2 games against Benfica and 1 La Liga game that I watched, they don't track back. They just play like.
But I mean, I think
in transition.
He had Valverde leading the press yesterday, so that showed some sort of adaptability on his part. Maybe he's learning on the job. You never know.
Could be. Are we done here?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, give a like, etc.
Comment.
Importantly, it needs to be a 5-star review. What will you do if they don't give us a 5-star review?
Find them and.
All right. Well, I just think take your shit in like a brown paper bag and then lighting the brown paper bag on fire outside somebody's door, and then you ring the bell and you run away, and then they come out, they see it's on fire, and then they stamp on it, to put the fire out, and then
they have a shoe full of shit.
That's what happens if you don't give us a 5-star review, listeners. Please, we really need it.
So I'll find the address and you shit in a bag.
Yeah, I'll that's me. That's me. That's what I'm known for, shitting in a bag. You can find all our links at pdfootball.com. That's the letter P. That's the letter P, the letter D, football.com. Please tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend. Tell a family member. Yeah, goodbye.
Thank you.